guys, Dave from Dave's Boy Shopworks here, and in this episode we are going to do some more work on our 50-year-old 360 Mopar small block. So last we left it, we finished off a little bit more of the oil system mods. Well, today we are going to file fit rings, put in cam bearings, and hopefully start getting the bottom end assembled. And here goes nothing. So here's our plasma moly file fit rings. This is the moly cleave part number 3150434.035. They always go the extra half thou or the extra 5 thou when you're file fitting to spec. There they are, pretty cool. And here's one centered up in the bore. You just use a piston and center it up. Here's our gap up here. It's obviously too tight already, so I'm just going to remove a little bit of material and then I'll let you know what spec we're going for. So the idea I do is I only file fit one side of the gap. That way I can only have to worry about one side staying true and straight. And file it down. I count my turns so I can start doing repetition a little bit faster. We know all our cylinders have barely a half a thou deviation at the top of the cylinder, so we can make a pretty consistent set by counting how many times I crank it. Now all I have to do is check my calculation and go with my ring gap, put it in, check it, and see how far we have to go from there. Alright, so looking at our installation instructions from Moly, it says down here on number 5, check the end gap. 4 thou per 1 inch of bore diameter is the minimum. Alright, so that's an easy calculation. We know our bore diameter is 4 30 thou, 4 inch and 30 thousandths of an inch. And we divide that by 4 thou, or times it by 4 thou. We'll find out together. It's definitely not divided. There we go. 16 thou gap for our top ring. That does sound about right. I was going to say 15, but 16, and that's for naturally aspirated. That's not for nitrous, that's not for boost, turbos, anything. 16 thou for naturally aspirated, and that's what we're gunning for. So if we get 16 to 17 thou per top ring, we're deadly. And then we'll do the calculation for the second ring as well, which is going to be, usually it's a touch bigger, but anyway, we'll double check. Alright, there's our 16 thou. Hope you guys can see it, but I can't quite get in my gap. So we're still a little tight. Pull it back out. We were going naturally aspirated, yes?
Yes. Yeah, the turbos are still on backward record, otherwise
Alright guys, so looks like we got a happy 16 thou. So let's keep on trucking.
What's 16 thou?
Top ring gap. Alright, so that is all of our top ring gapped. 16 to 17 thou. I'm super happy with that. That's about as consistent as we ever need. And with the mild, like I said, slight deviation on cylinder bores, this is great because now we're tailoring the piston ring gap to offset that little bit of extra wear in the block. And we'll have good sealing all the way around. Now I get to do all that with my second rings, but I'm not going to show you that because watching 16 rings ain't exactly exciting, guys. But I'll bring you back in a few minutes when we got her all done. Alright guys, so here's a little update for where we're at. We have assembled our pistons and rods, made sure the orientation is correct. We got our bushing in the distributor drive gear location and sized it basically for the distributor drive. Now from there, we're working our way towards, I'm about to put the cam bearings in, and John is working on the main cap and oil pump. So there's a little paper gasket. I'll show you here. This little guy. He comes in every, kit. The problem is I have seen the paper gasket blow out. If you've got a little bit of a warpage on your main cap and a little bit of warpage on your oil pump, the gasket will fill that gap and you'll have good oil pressure for a while. But at some point that gasket can blow out under, we'll say, high heat, whatever. So John has taken a file, and as you can see, that's what the main cap looks like with the file. It's not flat by any stretch of the imagination. And then we filed the oil pump, the brand new out of the box oil pump, and even it's not perfect. It's good, but there's room to grow. So John's chore right now is to file down the main cap nice and flat, and file down the oil pump nice and flat, and then we'll dress them with a fine file after that, and that's going to take care of it. So we'll set you up here in a minute and we'll get the cam bearings put in. He's going to file that guy up, and then we're going to lay in the crank and keep on trucking. We're going to get this rotating assembly installed tonight. Alright guys, so cam bearings are in. Number one is about, we'll say 90% perfect, and frankly that's going to be more than enough oil. If you've installed cam bearings in a GM product, they have a very tiny oil feed hole, and since we're controlling the oil to number one anyway, it's going to be great. So if you take a look, hopefully you can see down number one, it's only partially uncovered. The hole is actually smaller than the bore in the engine. And the same thing, number two is perfect, 3 perfect, 4 perfect, and 5. You can look down that way. Hope I can get the angle right. We're perfect. And number 2 and number 4 feed oil to the top of the cylinder head, and those holes as well are lined up perfectly. So that's cam bearing install. Next step, we're ready to drop the crankshaft in. So guys, after filing these down, hope you can see them, they mate together beautifully because we are not using the seal. I don't like using that little paper gasket. I've had it fail before, and these guys mate together nicely. So that's a win for us.
Ow, my finger.
5 and...
Thought we were doing number 5 laps.
Yeah, whatever. Had the rope seal in the 360 still. I thought they stopped using them before 79 motorhome or 78 motorhome. And
I swore they were done like the mid 60s. Like I didn't know the LAs came with them.
Never leaked a drop. Then I'm hammering on it with a stick. Never leaked a drop. Alright, so number 5 is got numbers on this side, so your 3 will go to that side. Yes. Perfect. So if you look guys, the washers for the ARP main bolts we're using, they have a bevel on the inside and they're flat on the outside. The flat goes down against the main cap, the bevel goes up against the head of the bolt. Okay guys, so we ended up taking a little break when my camera died. So we did a little run around, got my spare camera, got some coffees, got some hoodies on. It's starting to chill off a little bit. It's been raining all day off and on. But here we are now. So John and I got the pistons assembled. Crankshaft is in, and look at that, spins so nice by hand. Look at that, just beautiful. And we put ARP main bolts in. The torque on the ARP main bolts for the small block Dodge is higher than the factory. Factory is 85 foot-pounds, but when you're using the ARPs, you go by their spec, and their spec is 3 sequence, 35, 70, and 110. So the crank is torqued in, it's set, we're good to go. Now we're just going to put rings on pistons and start putting pistons in, and this short block will be near completed. Bring up zoom out, zoom in.
Do we need to do a Sesame Street thing? Near, far, near, far.
That might have to stay in.